As the sun sets over the Puget Sound, we kick on the floodlights here at Cheney Stadium, where tonight, Tacoma Defiance play host to Reno 1868 FC. Hello everyone, thank you for joining us here on ESPN+. I'm Andrew Harvey, alongside Dave Clark, and Dave, this is a Tacoma team that is in desperate need of a positive result.
Yes, they need some results. They have 2 wins at home, 3 losses. Tonight is their next opportunity to get out on the floor and impose their will on the opposing team.
Recent fixtures have not been kind to Defiance. They've lost their last 6 straight, including 5 on the road, before a 4-1 loss to Portland Timbers 2 last weekend. And tonight, things will not be any easier, as Reno 1868 have named Brian Brown to their starting 11.
Yeah, Brian Brown is basically their statistical leader. He leads the side in shots, in goals, and in assists. He's one of the Western Conference leaders, and that's part of why Reno 1868 FC is in 4th in the West entering the day.
Absolutely. For Tacoma, the goals have been near and dear, but certainly, manager Chris Little is hoping that Justin Dillon, who did find the score sheet in that loss to Timbers 2, can do the same thing again tonight.
Yeah, Dillon's going to start up top. He has 11 shots in his last 2 games, leads the team with 17 on the season. He's a guy that if he can start converting, Tacoma Defiance will have an offense again.
It'll be a busy night for Tacoma Defiance. How will they handle playing Reno 1868 at home? We'll find out after this here on ESPN+. Welcome back into Cheney Stadium here in Tacoma, Washington, and on ESPN+, as we're getting set for kickoff between Tacoma Defiance and Reno 1868 FC. I'm Andrew Harvey, joined by Dave Clark. And Dave, let's get right into it. Let's take a look at the starting 11 for the visiting Reno 1868 FC.
They're going to run out in a diamond formation, that kind of 4-4-2. Corey Herzog and Brian Brown are a potent combination up top.
And on the other side of things, for Tacoma Defiance, well, some familiar faces out there, and certainly some attacking power in the form of Azriel Gonzalez.
Azriel Gonzalez leads Defiance with 2 goals. Obviously, we talked about Justin Dillon. An interesting note is that the Tacoma Defiance have 2 of their captains on the field tonight in Shannon Hopiau and Sam Rogers.
Well, Ian Russell, head coach for Reno 1868 FC, in his 3rd year at the helm of the squad at this point, was originally a San Jose Earthquakes assistant coach, and then when Reno 1868 came into the league and signed that affiliate deal with the Earthquakes, he made the move down. Well, your referee for tonight is Dejan Susak, assistant referees Seth Martin and Cameron Seiler, and the 4th official Corbin May. And Dave, you had a chance to talk to Tacoma head coach Chris Little ahead of this fixture, and certainly he's expecting better results than what happened last week with Portland Timbers too.
Yeah, the theme has been about getting the results and earning those victories. Phrase this week that he used a lot was to impose their will on the other team. With that diamond against the kind of 4-2-1-3 that Defiance play, look in those wide spaces, particularly the fullbacks and wingers for Defiance, to see if they can get forward aggressively enough and often.
Defiance in black kits with white shorts will move from right to left on your screen here in the first half. Reno in all white heading back the other way. And certainly you look at Reno over their last 5 matches, Dave, and this is a team that is rounding into form. 3 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. Certainly a big part of the reason they're moving up those Western Conference standings, sitting 5th right now coming into tonight's match.
5th and a strong away form, 2-2-1 away from home. They're a quality side that's been challenging throughout the Western Conference. Tacoma fans might remember Corey Herzog, an MLS player the Sounders took a look at for a little bit.
We're underway right off the bat. Here's Justin Dillon moving up the middle. He's going to push that ball wide toward Gonzalez. Gonzalez, a first touch cross back inside for Dillon, and a goal! Less than 10 seconds! It has to be the fastest goal in Tacoma Defiance history, right from the opening kickoff. And you talk about a quick opening. It doesn't get quicker than that. Another look at it here, Dave.
Ezreal Gonzalez with the perfect cross. Justin Dillon unmarked, just has a simple header into the far post. That's his 2nd goal in 2 games, and that's Tacoma Defiance imposing their will on the opposition quickly.
Well, I certainly know that when we'd been talking to Justin Dillon ahead of the match, he said he was hoping to find the back of the net, and that goal he'd notched right at the end of the first half against Timbers 2 was going to be the first of many for him this season. I don't think even he expected that it might come that quickly. And Dave, that is a play that, as we reflect on it, certainly has the smackings of a designed run drawn up by Chris Little in the boot room before they hit the pitch.
That was a quick, I think, 4 passes. Everybody knew exactly where they were supposed to be and when they were supposed to be there.
I think we're both a little shell-shocked in the booth here, Dave. And the flag up on Reno's Corey Herzog. Oh, the smoke from the pregame pyrotechnics hadn't even really cleared the pitch yet. And Justin Dillon bagging his 2nd goal of the season, 1st assist for Ezreal Gonzalez.
Loyal Defiance fans added some more smoke as well, so we've had a couple batches of smoke already in the air tonight, and Justin Dillon will take some more.
Here's Trey Muse's, that's JT Marcinkowski. Or rather, that is Trey Muse, pardon me. Muse, of course, will be frustrated to have been left off of Tab Ramos's U20 World Cup squad, bound for Poland. Of course, the U.S. keeper pool, always exceptionally strong at every age group, and Dave, this is no exception.
No, Trey was in the mix for quite a while, and I just think in some cases you got to go with form. He struggled a little bit early in the season, but now he's got a 1-goal lead, and that's the type of confidence that any keeper likes in front of him.
Turned over here, now it's Dillon. Ridestrand moving up the left side, he accepts that pass. Dillon going back ahead, the ball cut out that time by Zach Carroll. Carroll, something of a journeyman at this stage in his career, played for a lot of different organizations. Formerly of Orlando City B. Of course, he used to play for the New York Red Bulls and then was waived when they picked up Aurelien Collin. Robles going over the top. Dillon going to run toward this ball. Marcinkowski, the diving header outside his own area. Hopiau tries to control it. He's hauled down in the open field. Some appeals for a yellow card. I think we're just going to see a free kick for it.
Hopiau was alert, realized that the keeper had left, and I think that he wanted to go in on goal. That's one of those cases where Reno 1868 did the right thing in fouling. Some people would call that a situation, a tactical foul, because it was the right thing to do.
Ridestrand and Robles over the ball. Dillon lurking just offside at the moment. Ulysses starting a slow run. Ridestrand, another header for Dillon. He can't direct that one down, however. Emre Clementa, the Montenegrin, back to Marcinkowski. Sam Rogers drawing a free kick at midfield. Ridestrand going to start putting in the referee's head early in this one. That if Reno are going to impede their restarts on the free kick, that eventually the referee's hand will be forced and have to start issuing cautions for those. Just 5 minutes gone here from Cheney Stadium, and Dave, this already has the feel of a match that's much, much further in its development.
Tacoma is transitioning into attack rapidly tonight. They're not the passing team that we've come to know and love. It's interesting because Reno 1868 is another team in the USL Championship that is passing more than 500 times a game. A rare thing at this level. So to see Tacoma so aggressive, getting in on goal quickly, is a new development.
Normally, Dave, when a team manages to pass that much, their play style comes back to completely dominating the time of possession. When you have two teams that tend to play that way, do both of them even out, or does the system blow up and they wind up playing direct ball?
Well, it should wind up evening out over the course of the play. I think with the way that these two organizations play, you'll see both teams.
Brian Brown, a low shot there, nicked away by Rogers. Mfeka, wide for Brown. Lindo Mfeka. Pass is picked away by Denzo Ulysses. Dave, sorry the action interrupted us there a little bit. Please finish that last thought.
So rude of Brian Brown to go in on goal like that. But I think you'll see with Tacoma, they tend to pass a little bit deeper within their back 40% or so. With Reno, they're more active in that central third. So it'll be interesting to see how it develops, because dangerous turnovers could trouble Tacoma Defiance. But if they spring out quickly like they have tonight, they can go through and around Reno 1868.
Duke Lacroix in the middle for Brown. Brown from long range, a leaping block from Rogers, and away by Ridestrand. And Justin Dillon whistled for the foul on Emre Clementa. Clementa, a long-time figure at this USL Championship level. Over 100 appearances he had for the Sacramento Republic. A brief stint at the LA Galaxy. Wound up back with the Republic last season. Now here in Reno. There's Carroll. Try his hand over the top. It goes through to Muse. Robles, a little poke toward Hopiao. Well, two of them certainly have a lot of creativity in attempting to link up with one another in possession. Sometimes the execution doesn't quite come off the way they'd hope. Brown into the left alley now, has an option in the middle, that's Herzog. Low cross toward him, Rogers keeps it low to Ulysses. Lacroix. There's Brent Richards. Richards, a bit of a local connection as well on that throw-in. Played his college soccer right here at the University of Washington.
Go Dogs.
Some really great local representation on these rosters. You think about Tacoma Defiance and how many of those academy youngsters have been signed onto this organization, but Reno, some connections as well. Sergio Rivas, who's on the bench, was a standout player at the WAC in Seattle University, playing for Pete Fewing. Dylan goes down looking to draw a free kick. Not going to get it, though. Carroll up the line, Mfeka trying to work it through. Cleaned up by Rydstrand. Here's Jesse Daly. Long ball over the top. Ulysses forces that ball out by Lacroix. Opiao connecting with Robles there. Robles tried to keep it on the ground to Dylan. Two of them repairing the phone lines, as it were, as we get set for this goal kick. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship in many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Played out wide by Brown. Herzog looking for the return to Brown. And Ulysses cleans it up. And you can certainly tell that Brown is the sort of player who's going to cause problems all night for Defiance. They'll have to be alert not to give an inch. Feka up for Richards. Richards, a left-footed shot. Muse, the diving save. Still loose here. It's Herzog. He's going to pop that back across the goal and falls right into the hands of awaiting Trey Muse. Off the back of Clementa's head, Dylan works its way up to Seth Kasipli. Robles looking to settle it. Clementa intercepts. Raul Mendiola.
Robles is an interesting number 10. He'll almost never play the safe pass. He's looking to break a line every single time he touches the ball. A fun thing to watch, and as he learns where his teammates are, that will become more effective, because you can see it tonight. He's 6-8 inches off from opening and putting his man on goal.
Mendiola just now certainly had something in mind when he chose to switch the field on his second touch like that. None of his teammates seem to expect it. It's gone out for a Tacoma throw. Former Los Angeles Galaxy homegrown player was Mendiola. He was actually part of that squad that won the 2014 MLS Cup. Of course, he was just a youngster at the time. Here's Will Seymour. Brown, Kasipli. Carroll wants Richards down the line. Overhit for Clementa. Hopiau gives chase. He's going to pick that ball up. Lacroix closing in behind him and does well to win that ball back. That's brave defending from Duke Lacroix there, Dave. You saw him kind of reach out an arm, think about pulling down Hopiau, then deciding against it and managing to recover to the ball.
He made the right choice there. He had another of his players there for support, so make the play on the ball. You don't need to foul. It's a 1 versus 2. Defense should stay stable.
Well, 15 minutes in here at Cheney Stadium. Tacoma Defiance leading 1-0 over Reno 1868 FC in a goal scored in the 9th second. And yes, you did hear that correctly, by Justin Dillon. Nick Hines sells out in a major way. Still concedes the corner, though. It'll be Mfeka, the South African, to spin this ball in. Chip toward the back post. Get it back across toward the near post and eventually out. Gone for a goal kick off the head of Brian Brown.
We've talked in previous games about high touch and low touch forwards. It's clear that Brian Brown wants to be involved in every single possession for Reno.
Well, and as you pointed out pregame, with the results that he's having, why wouldn't you? 6 goals, 4 assists. Kind of everything he's touched so far has turned to gold for Reno. Nearly a turnover there. Daly cuts it back outside. Here's Mendiola now, pushing his way in. Daly sparing his own blushes there. Puts that into touch. Well, that look from Chris Little communicating, I imagine, with Jesse Daly might explain everything you need to know about that last defensive sequence. Turnover here. Robles ahead for Dillon. On the return, Kasipli has gone down behind the run of play and stayed down. And Rydstrand's going to see that now. He'll put the ball out.
Looked like Kasipli went down when he tried to make a touch on the ball.
Yeah, it was
a mistouch and
no contact, and the referee not wasting any time. They're going to wave the trainers on here. Well, here's another look at it. It was before the ball had even gotten to him. Dave just kind of pulled up his foot and went down there.
Looked a little bit like a plant leg that went out from under him.
Well, the trainer thankfully signaling that it looks like he's going to be all right to Ian Russell in the touchline. Fans, you can follow Tacoma Defiance and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+. Home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+, and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at espnplus.com. See Kasipli there heading off.
You'll notice that Tacoma Defiance hydrated because it was a surprisingly warm 71 degrees today.
Beautiful weather. The last couple of days had been, I should say, seasonably cool, even though in this part of the world you can never be too certain what the weather's going to do. Ambitious ball there. Gonzalez gives chase. Carroll shepherds it back to Marcinkowski. Here's Gonzalez in space. Went for the cutback cross there. It's well cut out by Carroll. Ulysses. And he'll chop it back to Rogers. Here's Robles. Head for Hopiao. And Lacroix chops it out. Kasipli, by the way, has rejoined play. Big ball up to Dillon. And Justin Dillon, probably one of the tougher men in this league to try to volley out of possession. Here's Hines, a couple of big touches from him, a sliding challenge. Hines goes down and commits the foul in the process.
Past couple minutes, Tacoma's reasserted themselves.
Look at that move by Hines. Well, maybe not a lot in the challenge from Nick Hines, but probably enough for the whistle there. Mfeka. And Joel Ridestrand given the foul there. Free kick coming for Reno. Kisipley looking to spin this ball in. It's a low ball. Nick Hines, the first defender to it. Hopiau back for Daly. Being closed down by Carroll. They're going to go quick here. And it bounces over the head of Lacroix. Gonzalez has it. He'll head for the corner. Ridestrand. The overlap to Hines, a first touch cross, and that one deflected and gone out for a throw.
Defiance did a good job getting numbers forward there. Ezreal was not on the island by himself. He had options.
Well-weighted ball toward Hopiau there. Clementa the first one to it. We'll see more. Fanned wide for Richards. Richards floats across in. It gets beyond the defenders and will bounce out for a goal kick. One thing we've seen out of Reno so far in these first 22 minutes, Dave, is that they're very decisive about when they choose to attack. It's usually right after they get the ball. There's not much dilly-dallying going on out of the men in white out there. They are quick to push the needle.
Richards was especially impressive on that run because he started and played extensively in both of their matches throughout the past week. It'll be interesting to see if he can still do that in the second half.
Back past to Muse, pressure coming. Muse gets it away. Ridestrand. Hopiau. Through for Ulysses. Early cross there looking for Dylan. Just not quite enough on the ball. Mendiola. Pushed along for Herzog. He's going to switch the field once more toward Brown. And that ball looking for Herzog back into the hands of Trey Muse.
We've talked a lot about Brown and his effectiveness putting up the stats across the board. Herzog has basically been the lesser Brown. 4 goals and 3 assists.
And looking for number 5 here. Just a little bit too close to goal for Muse. Hopiau loses out on the shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. Mfeka, Mendiola. Ahead for Brown, it gets beyond him. Dave, this is a Tacoma back line that's going to have its hands full with the likes of Herzog and Brown out there tonight. And Josh Atencio, who has, in most of his appearances so far with Tacoma, seen time as a holding mid, being deployed as a center back tonight.
At the youth national team level, he's had a little bit of center back time. It wasn't with the...
Dangerous through ball for Dylan here. He could be away. Dylan, a touch to control. Dylan goes for the shot. It gets beyond Marcinkowski, and it rolls wide of the net. Justin Dylan just adds that quick strike factor that Tacoma was at times lacking. Here it is again.
I think that first touch got a little bit wider than he wanted. He was trying to put it in on goal and instead pushed him wide.
Defiance, track back, win that ball. Here's Daly, advantage played, inside for Gonzalez, and it's cut away from him by Richards. And out for a corner. Tacoma leaning into that high press. Robles setting up for the corner. 4 targets inside the penalty area. He keeps it short for Gonzalez and is offside on the return.
A little bit mistimed on a set piece. That's just about focus and mentality at that point. Andrew, what I want to know is Justin Dillon going to talk his family into just staying up here? Because he scored on Mother's Day and his mom was present. He scored today, and last week he said that his family was going to be in town still.
Well, if that is the secret to the success, you know, they might choose to stay of their own volition. He's been putting on quite a show the last 2 matches. Here's Seymour. Mfeka. Richards picks his head up. Tries to slip that ball in. Rydstrand knocks it back into the near touchline. Lacroix. Thrown in for Kisipli. Mendiola with it now. Richards back to Carroll. Carroll looking for Richards over the top. That ball bouncing down the touchline. Gonna stay in here, rolling to the corner flag and shepherded all the way out by Nick Hines. Hines getting awful acquainted with that warning track dirt out there in his own byline area.
It's good to see. He's not known as a beefy player, one to use his strength like that. So for him to just kind of lower the center of gravity and make that fight, you want to see that, because Nick Hines' standard operating procedure is to run very fast down the sideline.
Well, if I remember high school physics correctly, force still equals mass times acceleration. He certainly has a lot of that. Seymour pushing out wide for Mendiola. Mendiola gives up on that ball. Well, Tacoma, despite some recent misfortunes, not cowed at all by this Reno side. They lead 1-0 here in the 29th minute. Kisipli slides that to Mfeka. Pardon me, it is Brown. Now it's Mfeka. Richards to the byline. Space for a cross. Free header. And that one tipped up on top of the net. Gone out for a corner. Not sure who got the last touch to that.
I think that was a foot save by Muse. Falling backwards.
Well, we'll look for a replay. Oh,
Yeah.
sensational. Just sensational from Trey Muse. I mean, that stop is exactly why the Sounders are so eager to get him out of Indiana early. On the restart, long cross. Richards floats it back across the face of goal. Muse can't get to it. It stays in. Low ball now. Mfeka. Here's Kasipli. Looking for space for a shot. Poked away by Dillon, and Gonzalez shuffles it away. And the flag up for offside.
Dillon's running quite a bit here in this first half. It's going to be interesting because the bench is a little light for Defiance today. Their other forwards, Ocampo Chavez, just returned from finishing second in the U17 CONCACAF Championship.
Mfeka, Kasipli. Poked back to Mfeka. Mfeka shoots, and he's put it wide of the post. Just like that, those quick combinations, and Lindo Mfeka, a player who had drawn particular praise from Chris Little ahead of this match.
He had every option as to where he wanted to put that in on net.
Lacroix in for Herzog. Seymour. Brown trying to push it to Mfeka. Carroll gets it up to Mendiola. Richards, low cross in. Muse meets it at the near post. Comes back out to the right alleyway. And is eventually played out for a Tacoma throw-in. Be sure to tune in on Wednesday, May 22nd at 5 p.m. local time for Wednesday Night Soccer as league newcomers Birmingham Legion FC welcome Nashville SC. It's the week's best match on Wednesday Night Soccer, May 22nd at 5 p.m. on ESPN News.
Kynes takes a few too many steps forward.
Referee doing what he can to keep Tacoma from taking liberties. Did the same thing with Kasipli a moment ago. Ulysses here. Ball coming back wide toward Ulysses. Kasipli interposes himself. Lacroix. Hard work by Lacroix along the touchline. Nifty back pass there from Herzog. Shoves away Hopiau, and Hopiau whistled for the foul. Daly swings and misses at that pass toward Mfeka. It's picked up by Brian Brown. Wide now to Mendiola. Mendiola. Keeping it himself, and Nick Hines puts it out for a corner. Third of the match.
Wicked little crossover by Mendiola there.
Mfeka. Back post toward Richards, headed toward goal, punched away by Muse. Dillon looking to clear. Kasipli back in for Brown, who goes for the volley and puts that one out of the park. Well, Trey Muse being warned for time wasting there, but 45 to 50 seconds of that delay was him waiting on a ball getting in after Brian Brown blasted that one into the parking lot. Kasipley looking for Herzog over the top. Rogers is there. And that's gone out for a corner. Thankfully, though, that ball comes back, or else we'd start to have to worry about running out here at Cheney Stadium. Short play to Mfeka. Mfeka, a low shot, met at the back post, but poked away. Clementa goes for goal. And I spoke too soon, Dave. We have another ball somewhere bouncing along Art Hutchinson Way.
Just a few little leaguers over at Heidelberg Davis Park collecting soccer balls today.
Hughes gets it going again. Robles. Intercepted by Richards. Mfeka. Kasipley. Dave, Defiance defending well right now, but you have to say the last 10 minutes have pretty much been one-way traffic in favor of Reno. They're starting to kind of exert their dominance in this match.
Yeah, Defiance are used to having possession, and tonight they're not getting that.
Advantage played after Daly left the footed. Mfeka pushes forward. For Mendiola, that shot's blocked at the point of attack. Kasipley, a touch to settle. Swings across back post. Brown is there. And a free kick has been given to Tacoma Defiance. Brown might have been a little over-enthusiastic in how he attacked that ball. Oh, Brown denied by the post. Potential turnover here. Kasipley toward Herzog. Cleaned up by Daly.
Wouldn't be surprised if Coach Little wants to see Tacoma hang on to the ball a little bit longer, use their short passing, and just take pressure off the defense for a little while.
That's one of the adages of the sport, Dave. There's no such thing as a soccer match where you don't have to run very much, but for some reason those steps feel so much more tiring when you're constantly chasing the ball. Strand tries to poke that over the top for Hopiau. Mfeka heads it down for Brown. Mendiola right around Danny Robles. Lacroix. Cut back for Kasipley. Shot in traffic. And whistles well wide.
Looked like Tacoma was daring him to shoot in that situation. They sat just a little bit off of him, closed down his passing lanes.
Attempted boot ball, hoping to find Brian Brown. It settles at the feet of Mfeka. Option on the outside is Richards. Cross in from Richards and poked away by Hines. Fifth corner now for Reno. We've we've seen that they tend to try to like to put that ball across the back post to Richards, and then tries to head it back into contention. We'll see if that's what happens here. Feka right into the mixer that time. Header fan wide at the far post. He started the ride strand. Here's Herzog. Herzog, beautifully ball slicing between the Tacoma back line. It's Mfeka. Kasipli. Low ball in, Kasipli chopped away by Gonzalez. Only as far as Seymour. Now Richards. Richards, too much on that one. Slid in to try to make up for his own mistake. And it's turned over to Tacoma. Dillon shaking off Brent Richards as he charges forward. Plays that through to Gonzalez. Gonzalez looking for an option. Goes for goal himself, but it's stopped at the near post by Marcinkowski.
Marcinkowski surprised his forwards with that quick restart. Essentially just giving the ball back to Defiance.
Defiance using possession here to get their chemistry going. Nice chop by Atencio. He's going to try a ball over the top for Hines. And Hines has the foot speed to make it to that ball and hold it in play on the near sideline. Hines chops that ball in, headed by Emra Clementa and out for a corner. Well, how about the foot speed from Nick Hines there to track that ball down?
Last corner that Defiance had on this side, they mistimed their short pattern. Let's see how they mix it up today.
Robles serves it in here over the head of Dillon to the feet of Brian Brown. Brown looking for the long ball to alleviate pressure. Daly sends it right back. Pretty good from Brown to connect with that ball. Puts it into touch, though. Ulysses for the restart here on the far sideline. Thrown in to Robles. Back for Hopiau. Fans here not happy with the lack of a call there after Hopiau was cut down. That ball runs into touch. Brown looking to turn. Force back to Lacroix. Carroll. This is Richards. Diving header from Carroll to break up that through ball from Nick Hines. Now Tacoma switches the field over to Hopiau. Ulysses giving chase to this ball. Marcinkowski does enough to shepherd it out of play. Fourth official Corbin May holding up the scoreboard on the far side, announcing there will be 1 minute of added time here in the first half. And we tick into that minute here at Cheney Stadium. Lacroix, Kasipli. Carroll for Mendiola. Along for Richards. Headed back out by Rogers. Dillon, a touch to settle. Not many places to go with it, though. He'll distribute. Daly. Mendiola does well to drop back. And the whistle goes for halftime. Tacoma Defiance on the back of a magical 10 seconds at the start of the match from Justin Dillon, leading 1-0 here at the half. We'll take a break here on ESPN+, and when we return, we'll take a look around what's going on in the USL Championship. Don't go away.
Look at Taylor moving up. And Taylor with a beautiful strike. Are you kidding? It's 1-0 in the 12th minute. What can you say about a center back who has...
It's loud, and what a rip from Connor Presley. Oh, how's that for an equalizer?
And he decided just to reach his leg out there and see what he could do.
Now North Carolina with a chance. Now a shot by Miller! Stephen Miller with the strike inside the 18, ties this game up at 1 in the 66th minute. Fleming's early ball in. John on the first time! Oh, that is clinical from Adam John! Oh, look at Fleming's and Picaro just toying with RGV. Breaking in, Kasim! Oh, what a save by Matt Pickens! Got a run from distance and hits a goal! Pulls with the left and in. And what a save for Van Ogle! Here's a chance for Kasim who puts it in!
Rodriguez returning for Reynolds. His delivery through the penalty area will fall here, and Tessman! What a strike that is from Tanner Tessman, who's equalized for North Texas.
Sweet footwork. Gallardo
The attack and the blast and a goal!
One more go at it for Toronto, headed on and in! Beautiful strike there!
Giovanni serves it towards the back post. Headed in the back of the net, it's a goal for Lansing Ignite.
Welcome back into ESPN Plus and Cheney Stadium. It is halftime between Tacoma Defiance and Reno 1868 FC. And Dave, this is about as quick as a match could possibly start with that Justin Dillon goal.
9-10 seconds into the game, Tacoma Defiance took a lead off of Justin Dillon, assist from Azrael Gonzalez, and from there they just had to absorb pressure. It was out of character for Tacoma, but Reno did all they could to attempt that comeback.
Well, quite the interesting match that we have brewing here, but let's take a look at some of the other matches that are going on around the USL Championship this evening. And there have been some interesting scorelines. Of course, for me, the New Mexico United big win away from home at Colorado Springs. They just continue to be excellent, Dave.
Yeah, New Mexico United's off to an amazing start. Over in the Eastern Conference, it's not up on your board, but the 2-0 victory by the Tampa Bay Rowdies is important to them. It keeps them at top of the East.
Absolutely. Well, you mentioned top of the East. Let's go ahead and take a look now at the USL Championship standings. And you see it right here. Now, that most recent win by New Mexico United has actually jumped them back into first place over Timbers, too.
You can't ask for a better expansion season in the USL Championship than what New Mexico United are doing. They're filling the stadium down in Albuquerque. And top of the West already.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of New Mexico fans are probably remembering that 2014 USL season. The Sacramento Republic came into the league and wound up winning USL Cup. Well, speaking of around the USL Championship, there's been some other major headlines going on around the league this week. And right off the bat is that they were phenomenal in U.S. Open Cup play.
Yeah, in U.S. Open Cup play, the USL Championship had 19 teams advance. Reno 1868, one of the few that didn't, but they faced off against the USL Championship. One of the notable things, Fresno FC got a road win over a lower division team to advance. And then from USL 1, Forward Madison advances as the only USL 1 team to go back and advance to the third round of the Open Cup. Those games are going to be May 28th to May 29th, and you can catch them on ESPN+.
Oh, right. That's one of the other great joys about the U.S. Open Cup this year is it's all living right here on ESPN+. Dave, I don't know about you, but I've been spending entirely too much time watching Open Cup soccer. It's my favorite thing in the world.
There's always soccer on nowadays. It's a great way to spend your day if you have the opportunity and the time. In other big news around the league, you mentioned the Sacramento Republic. Paul Buckle, who was the skipper of that organization for 4 years, is back in USL Championship now with that Hartford Athletic. Buckle had left Southampton's U23s.
Absolutely, and of course, final big headline this week, Mitchell Tainter from Sacramento Republic wins goal of the week, and what a strike that was.
It was a beautiful strike. You don't normally get a center back that far up the pitch in the run of play. Nails it from probably 28, 30 yards out. Mitchell Tainter took 49% of the vote, and you can see it there. That's a laser. Center backs don't do that. That's unreal.
Yeah, just an absolute cannon off the right foot. certainly gave the home fans at Papa Murphy's Park something to cheer about there.
Unfortunately for those home fans, Reno went on to score 4 more goals.
Well, fair enough. And, of course, that is the Reno team that is trailing Tacoma Defiance 1-0 right now here at Cheney Stadium. We'll take a break, and when we return, we'll take a look at our first half highlights here on ESPN+. Welcome back to Cheney Stadium, and our broadcast of tonight's Tacoma Defiance Reno 1868 FC match here on ESPN Plus. Andrew Harvey alongside Dave Clark. The team's about ready to restart play, but before we do, let's take a look at those first half highlights. And Dave, we started with a great one right off the bat.
It started as quick as it could start. I'm going to run out of opportunity to say words here. Ezreal Gonzalez crosses it in, and a simple headed goal by Justin Dillon.
Yeah, absolutely. 8 seconds, the official timing on that score, which we suspect might be one for the record books. That's a phenomenal start. And then, of course, there was this equally good save at the other end. That's kicked away by Trey Muse. And an important one to deny Corey Herzog. And that's how we've arrived at 1-0 through 45 minutes. We'll see what the second 45 have in store. Dave, looking at this Reno 1868 squad, what really stood out to you in that first half?
I think the resiliency was really impressive. They're an organization that knows how to attack the goal. Between Brown and Herzog, they're good for a goal basically every game, one of those two. And they put significant pressure on Tacoma Defiance. Defiance had to absorb that throughout the game. You look at the stats, and Defiance only won 42% of duels, only had 40% possession, and those have been following Tacoma Defiance. That's highly unusual. Normally, they possess the other teams. Reno played their game, and they're going to stick with it. They're going to be good for a goal, so it's important for Tacoma to come out, maybe not as quick as they did in the first half, but come out and threaten the Reno 1868 FC net.
You certainly get the sense, Dave, that this is not a match that is going to finish at a 1-0 scoreline. If Tacoma wants to take all 3 points, you have to think that they might, well, they will need to find another goal. And we're being told that to start the second half, Kevin Partita has been subbed on by Ian Russell for Reno 1868 FC. Will Seymour will head to the bench.
Not necessarily a surprise. Seymour played in both of Reno's matches against Sacramento.
We'll see how long it takes Partita to get involved, as here's Brian Brown back to Lacroix. Seymour was a big piece of that sort of midfield dominance that Reno enjoyed in the first half. Ball fanned wide to Mendiola. Mendiola looking for Brown, headed away by Ulysses. Lacroix picking up the return ball. Ridestrand deals with the cross. Ulysses doesn't connect on the clearance. Feka has it poked away. Partita back to Clementa.
Justin Dillon chasing that.
And the flag up for offside on Herzog. For those who might be wondering, why did that whistle get blown? Basically, as soon as Herzog forced Sam Rogers to play that ball into touch, he was affecting the outcome of a play and had benefited from being in an offside position. So that's why he still gets whistled for the indirect free kick, even though he did not actually touch the ball. More often see that letter of the law applied when a player screens a goalkeeper on a shot that winds up going into the net.
Strong and appropriate clearance by Atencio there. Sam Rogers had kind of corkscrewed himself and had no idea where the ball was after winning that header. If you're a center back and your partner's lost, just clear the ball.
Hey, you saw some great teamwork along the far touchline boards there as well. One of our stadium attendants lifting a ball boy over the advertising board so he could retrieve a loose ball. Meanwhile, here's Lacroix teeing up a long shot that goes out for a goal kick. Ulysses looking for the ball over the top to Dillon. You mentioned a little bit in that first half, Dave, that the Defiance bench a little bit light tonight. And like you said, there's no real out-and-out replacement at forward for Justin Dillon. So if he keeps making those long runs to try to stretch out this back line and runs out of gas, and Chris Little has a bit of a conundrum on his hands on how to fix that thing if he should decide to change him.
Yeah, the simplest move would be to put Marlon Vargas into one of the attacking midfield spots and put either Shannon Hopia or Ezreal Gonzalez up in as a solo forward. That'd be the easiest way to do it. But after that, the next most attacking player is Anthony Burt-Gilroy, and we've seen him sometimes deployed as an 8.
Hines, a couple of touches. Mendiola keeping face. Brent Richards cuts out the cross. There goes Partita. Advantage played by the referee. Muse lets it roll in. Lacroix up toward Herzog.
They were on a different page right there.
Kasipli trying to work his way through there. Ball popped up and into the hands of Trey Muse.
Reno asking for a back pass call there. Reno's still rather consistent in controlling the pace and tempo of this game. Their pressure is working.
Hines going at Mendiola. Brown and Herzog in that first half drew most of the attention. But you have to say that Mendiola has been critical in manufacturing most of Reno's dangerous attacks.
Hines had gotten so far forward that Daly and Rydstrand helped cover the run, and once he got back, they reached out a little high five.
Herzog charging toward Muse. Here's Hopiau. Gonzalez. Hopiau forced to play it wide. Daly. Wider still to Ulysses. Going at Lacroix. Robles. Gonzalez, he's pushed off the ball. Clean challenge wins it away. Rydstrand. Robles. Wide now for Hines. Nick Hines' cross, that's a high floater. Fans, you can join Tacoma Defiance broadcasters Dave and I after every match at Doyle's Public House. After our post-game interviews with players and coaches, we'll join you to discuss today's match and the latest in Tacoma Defiance news. Here's Brent Richards. Dillon does very well to settle that ball. Back for Gonzalez. Robles drifting into the middle. Ball to Robles. Robles off toward Hopiau, pushed away by Lacroix.
I think in the past 3 games now we've discovered that Tacoma Defiance know how to use Justin Dillon as a hold-up player and to spring him quickly.
Daly, Ulysses, Hopiau, a low shot from him, and that one whistles wide. Might be able to see those little white wisps floating across your scene. Spring is definitely in the air. Bad time of year to have allergies. Daly laid in on that challenge, and he's going to see yellow here for accumulation. Daly, the first man booked in the 57th minute.
Daly's one of those hard men that assistant coach Wade Weber tends to like. Sometimes the harder man can foul a little too frequently, though.
Attention, please, in the 57th minute of the match, the yellow card to the Tacoma Defiance, number 89, Jesse Daly. And yellow card issued to Tacoma Defiance, number 89, Jesse Daly.
Here's Kevin Partita. Richards tries the ball over the top for Brown. Sails into touch, though. Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth program, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. Here's Mfeka. Finds Herzog. Back for Mendiola. Mendiola fanned wide for Kasipli. Kasipli picking out Mfeka, headed toward goal, and Trey Muse, a diving stop. A well-worked sequence there by Reno. Worked them into a good attacking position. And at the end, just the distance on that header meant Mfeka couldn't put too much behind it. Great placement, though. Equally good stop by Muse.
Fully outstretched. Good hands there. I think that's a little bit of a resurgence in confidence from Trey.
Brown drops in, picks up this ball, goes for Mendiola. Wide still for Richards. Hines gets there first. Gonzalez the second one to it. Short for Daly. Looking over the top for Brown. Brown is loose. Kick save by Trey Muse. Well, that's twice tonight Trey Muse has come up big with his feet to turn aside an equalizing goal.
Brown is such a threat there. Nutmegs Josh Atencio. And Muse with an alert play kind of screened a little bit on that shot.
Kasipli to the head of Carroll and away by Nick Hines. Over an hour gone here at Cheney Stadium. Tacoma Defiance leading 1-0 over Reno 1868 FC on the back of a goal in the first minute by Justin Dillon. Defiance started this match fast and have been working hard to keep pace against a very talented and speedy Reno side ever since. Dillon takes a touch past Clementa. Into the corner goes Dillon. 3 defenders on the end of that cross. Tacoma settles for the throw-in. Here's Sam Rogers. Rogers, a low shot. Forces the diving stop out of Marcinkowski, and if there were doubts about whether or not Sam Rogers was feeling like his old self again, I think that puts him to bed.
I think you watched that Mitchell Tainter goal during halftime. It's about the same distance. A little less
gone
speed
here at midfield meantime. And Jesse Daly and Kevin Partita exchanging words. Bit of a gentleman's disagreement right at midfield.
You ever have those times when someone's telling you to calm down and you never actually calm down?
I think it's the least effective thing you could say to try to calm someone down. Jesse Daly, the quick restart to Ulysses. Hopiau loses out on that challenge to Lacroix. And this is Lacroix up the near sideline. Daly boxes him out, fights his way back to the ball, and draws another free kick. Daly, player with a lot of passion, but you can see his teammates working hard now to try to keep him calm. Restart will be delayed while we see a second substitution. A double sub, I should say, rather. Anthony Burke-Gilroy going to come on now for Justin Dillon. And pardon me, that's also just Denzel Ulysses, who happens to be standing there on the pitch.
Australia for Australia.
Justin Dillon, now 2 goals in 2 matches for that forward. And now Anthony Burke-Gilroy on. We'll see where exactly he slots in. This is Burke-Gilroy getting involved early. Correction, pardon me, I misspoke. Justin Dillon's still on here. It's Jesse Daly who's gone out. And that, probably a wise move by Chris Little.
The 2 Australians play the same role, but Jesse Daly's much more defensive while taking that. Anthony Burke-Gilroy will attempt to get forward a little more.
Cross here from Herzog. Loose the back post is Kasipli. Looks like there might have been an appeal for handball there, but it's still shuffled away by Tacoma. Lacroix down the left alley. Attempted bicycle kick clearance only as far as Kasipli, who curls that one wide of the post. It's gone out for a goal kick. Oh, look at that opportunity here from Lacroix.
It's a good cross. Joel Ridestrand didn't quite get the contact he wanted on his bicycle.
Well, they told me biking was dangerous, but I never envisioned this. Free kick being given to Tacoma Defiance here. And this, interesting opportunity for Tacoma. This is right on the edge of where you can really spin something in, make it so dangerous at the back post. Robles and Ridestrand over the ball, getting some instruction from Chris Little. Ridestrand spins that in. It was looking for the head of Sam Rogers. Tacoma settles for a corner.
It's interesting that Joel Ridestrand entered the match as the chance-created leader for Tacoma Defiance, and most of that's because of his set-piece activity. Also fun for coaches to have a defensive midfielder who's that effective at set pieces.
Outswinger from Robles. Over the head of Dillon inside the area. Dillon looking to turn and fire that ball. It's pushed away. Ulysses tries to launch it back in. Rogers on the volley, and that one well wide. Dillon looking to turn once more. Burke-Gilroy now for Gonzalez. Gonzalez tried to call his own number there. Creative while dealing with the defender at the near post, but in the end can't put any venom on the shot. And that one pretty clearly came off the hand of Joel Ridestrand. He's not going to argue that much. And Feka restarts quickly to Partita. He goes ahead for Kasipli. Richards, early cross and straight into the hands of Trey Muse. Getting word now. Ian Russell is prepared to bring on Sam Gleedle, the Englishman, make his 7th appearance here for Reno 1868 FC, who trail 1-0 here in the 69th minute. Feka, wide to Richards. Richards floating that ball, back post. Muse goes for the header. It comes right down off the foot of Denzo Ulysses and out for a goal kick. Kasipli. Header won emphatically by Dillon. Only as far as Mfeka. He goes wide. His cross is blocked. Now it's Kasipli once more. Low ball from him this time. It comes all the way through to Muse. Ball out wide to Hines. Gonzalez and Richards tie up. It's another corner for Tacoma.
Switch on the taker here.
Robles has taken all the corners. Now it's Rydstrand's turn. What can he do? Loose inside the box. Burke Gilroy gets a foot to it. That one winds up going over the crossbar. A bit of a mad scramble for the ball.
Is that Sam Rogers' third shot?
It could very well be. Well, second substitution now for Reno. As we mentioned, it is Sam Gleedle coming on. And Raul Mendiola, who had a very bright 71 minutes, will head to the bench. Marcinkowski's attempted clearance is blocked. That'll come back to him. And good play by the keeper, realizing that he can catch it after it came off a defender. Brown along for Mfeka. And Atencio cleans up the loose ball. This is Gleedle now, getting his first few touches. He combines with Richards. Partida gets by Rydstrand, advantage played. Ball comes wide to Lacroix. Lacroix closing in here, leaves it for Gleedle. Loose the back post, a shot kicked away by Trey Muse once more. Everyone appealing for offside, and in the end it's a corner.
You said kick save Muse often enough. That might be his new first name.
Ball in from Mfeka. Pushed along on the header. Brian Brown going out there along with Denzo Ulysses. And it winds up as a throw-in. Ball seesawing backward from Reno. They'll try Richards up the far side once more. Cuts the ball back beautifully. Richards, a left-footed cross, headed out by Sam Rogers. Partida now. Partida around his man and can't put that on frame. Took a deflection on its way through. Unofficially, I have this as the 9th corner for Reno this match. And it'll be taken by Lindo Mfeka. Feka. Knocked away. Gleedle gives chase. Sliding in early is Burt Gilroy. Now Brown. Straight into Denzel Ulysses. Appeals for handball. Referee waves it away. Back to Brown. Rogers gets a foot to it. And Tacoma has a chance to clear their lines, if only for a moment. Dave, we're ticking toward the final quarter hour, and Reno really putting Tacoma under a lot of pressure here at Cheney Stadium.
Yeah, I think Defiance has been impressive, though. They've felt the waves battering the shore, but they're standing strong so far. The performance by Atencio and Rogers both has been impressive. And obviously, Trey Muse might wind up with a highlight on the Save of the Week ballot.
Gleedle back for Kasipley. Gleedle in against Hines, and not the cross that Gleedle was hoping for there. Well, Tacoma usually likes to play these goal kicks short, try to work out of the back. With the match hanging in the balance, Reno now putting a defender on every one of those short options, so he'll have to throw it into the blender at midfield, which has traditionally not been Tacoma's strong suit. Tonight in particular, it really feels like most of those second balls have gone Reno's way. Here's Mfeka to Brown. Brown looking for space and can only manage a low shot right at Trey Muse.
Muse and Tacoma Defiance taking their time to set up again.
Justin Dillon slides in there, and we're going to have a substitution. In comes Marlon Vargas for Danny Robles. And on the other side, Ian Russell will use his final change to bring on Danny Masovsky for his 4th appearance of the season. He's removing Corey Herzog in order to do so. So Robles goes out. Dave, what did you make of his match?
I thought in the first half he played a little bit stronger. His defensive pressure from that 10 was good, but here in the second half, he hasn't really been able to control the pace and tempo of the game. Like to see him take a little bit more value out of those touches later in the match.
Also making their final substitution of the match is Reno 1868.
Handball called against Tacoma Defiance. They're going to do what they can to slow down the restart here. Tacoma has one final sub to play. Meantime, there's Lindo Mfeka. He's been serving dangerous free kicks all night from the corner. Can he do it from the middle of the park? Ball here toward the head of Richards. Pushed along by Azriel Gonzalez.
Tacoma's sub options are 2 center backs, Burkholz and Endow, and then a left back, Nance.
And a header comes through to Muse. Burt Gilroy. Past midfield now. He's going to keep it on the ground. And too long for Denzel Ulysses. Get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for Tacoma Defiance and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on Tacoma Defiance's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. Here's Lacroix. Looking for Mfeka in the middle. Hines gets it away. Only manages to push it. Vargas getting involved. Now it's Dillon. Dragging a couple of defenders with him. Gleedle recovers. Kevin Partita on the ground for Gleedle. Gleedle, awkward touch from him, straight to Muse at the near post. And Muse going to be a little bit coy here. He hasn't picked up the ball yet, now does so.
It's a little wisdom that we've seen from Tacoma that they might have struggled with in the past. Carrying a lead, they've sometimes lost their identity, lost their purpose, and haven't been willing to hold the ball.
Carroll under some duress here. Vargas has it, loses out to Partita, who does a great job to recover to Vargas's blind side. Gleedle up for Mfeka, ahead to Brown. Now Kasipli. Here's Richards. The ball in from him. Headed down and once more into the hands of Trey Muse. Trey has had a great night in goal so far. A couple of big kick saves. Not too much behind this shot, but you still have to be alert there as Danny Masovsky gets on the end of that ball in from Richards.
Muse had a track across the face of goal on that one. That was important. There were multiple options that could have successfully reached that header.
Kasipli, Masovsky. Partita wide to Gleedle. Gleedle pushes that ball in. Knocked away by Hopiau. Only as far as Kasipli. Floated back in. Header won by Atencio. Justin Dillon trying to settle that ball for Shandon Hopiau. Richards. Long cross goes out for a goal kick. Dave, at the start of the second half, he said that this was a match that we didn't expect to finish 1-0. Still a long way to go. 8 minutes can be an eternity. You saw what Tacoma Defiance could do with just 8 seconds at the start of this match. But is this the part of the match where Tacoma starts to think about closing up shop, or do they still go for it?
I'd like to say they should still go for it, but what we've seen is Defiance at their best is trying to spring Justin Dillon. It's hard to call it closing up shop when Reno keeps getting forward like this.
Anthony Burke-Gilroy goes on a 50-yard run just to block Richards' cross at the point of the attack. The crowd voicing its appreciation.
1868 treating this throw-in as a set-piece opportunity, bringing both center backs forward.
Richards uncorks one toward the middle of the park. Might fall for Mfeka, and he lifts it over. Referee says it took a deflection, corner kick. Kasipli. Free header, Brian Brown, and they're equal. 84th minute, and just like that, so many set-piece opportunities. You felt that one of them had to bounce through. Brian Brown is equalized for Reno.
That's what Brian Brown does. His 7th goal on the season. Just takes a little moment for him to be effective.
Well, that's Kasipli's first assist of the season. And here they come once more. Beyond Gleedle. Might fall through for Brown. Pushed away Kasipli. Over for Lacroix. Reno, all the momentum now. Serves that ball in. Brown looking for a little bit of space to turn. Advantage played by the referee. Kasipli. Up for Dillon. Gonzalez chops that into space. Lacroix recovers to it. Here's Mfeka. Partida. Now Lacroix. Kasipli, early cross. Brown looking to turn. Lays off for Mfeka. Out for another corner. Chris Little going to take the opportunity to make his final sub. Bring on Alex Burkholz. Justin Dillon's night is done in the 86th.
This is a substitution that will impact every line in the game. Alex Burkholz is a traditional center back. Probably moves Atencio forward, Bert Gilroy forward, and Hopiau forward.
Kasipli trying to recreate the magic of the last corner kick that pulled Reno level. Can they go in front? Ball the near post. Hines chops that straight back toward the corner flag. It is a throw-in this time. Flag is up for offside on Kasipli. Defiance will get to clear their lines with the free kick.
Or it's Alex Burkholz at forward.
That certainly seems to be what Chris Little has in mind. Just a straight big guy for big guy swap. Can Burkholz bully his way to a goal? Anthony Burke-Gilroy wasn't there for putting his shoulder through Lindo Mfeka. Hopiau going ahead for Burkholz. One away by Riotstrand. Rogers doesn't quite get that clearance to come off. Brown draws the throw in. Quick ball in for Masovsky and just over the bar. Well, that's twice now that Danny Masovsky has almost felt the back of the net. Did not miss much by much, Dave.
He got himself into the space where he could connect. Don't quite know why he popped that one up. Probably just mistimed it a little bit.
Gilroy going to try over the top for Burkholz. Tencio trying to wait that ball to get to Hines. Richards is there. Now it's Partita. He's pulled it past the challenge. Big touches from Partita, past midfield. He goes wide to Gleedle. Gleedle pressing in, options in the middle. Gleedle keeps it low and put over the bar. Lasovsky feeling the weight of the world on his shoulders right now. You look at that, and that probably should have been the game winner, Dave.
Yeah, that's twice now he had the opportunity to win it for Reno. You see here, he's in open space. And again, pops it up.
2 minutes of added time is what we'll play here at Cheney Stadium. 1-1 right now between Tacoma Defiance and Reno 1868 FC. Lacroix loses out in the challenge to Ulysses. It's come off Ulysses' hand. A free kick just outside the penalty area for Reno. Dave, this could spell trouble for Tacoma.
Dead ball opportunities have been very strong for 1868 FC today. Not just in the goals scored, they've taken these out, forcing Trey Muse to be acrobatic.
Kasipli could almost go for goal himself on this if he'd like to. Low ball spun in past Muse and past the far post as well. Out for a corner on the far side.
Denzel Ulysses trying to mark Brian Brown in these dead ball circumstances.
Yeah, that is a definite size mismatch. Mfeka spins that ball in. A secondary shot blocked. Partita pushes wide for Kasipli. Deep into stoppage time now. Mfeka. Cross into the middle, a back heel chip. And Brent Richards would have had a stunning game winner on service in from Brown. Well, we've reached the 2 minutes. How much more will we go? We'll see once Trey Muse puts his ball in play. We'll go no further. Tacoma Defiance score 8 seconds into the match and lead almost all the way to the end, but Brian Brown coming up huge with an equalizing goal in the 84th minute as we finish 1-1 here between Tacoma Defiance and Reno 1868 FC. Dave, you have to think this is a mixed bag for Defiance. On the one hand, they have broken up that losing streak, but from the way they started this match, it's really seemed like their opportunity to take all 3 points at home.
Yeah, I think both teams are going to be disappointed in the result. When Tacoma has a lead for so long, that's something that they feel they should come away with. And Reno just battered the goal and battered Trey Muse, and were only able to get 1 goal on it. And for 1868 coming into Tacoma on that losing streak, they had to think that they were coming away with a win when they started the match.
Yeah. Credit definitely due to Trey Muse, who did just about everything, including just about standing on his head to try to turn aside Reno 1868, but he could not deny Brian Brown his 7th goal of the season. Defiance now up to 2-9-1 with 7 points to their name. Reno 1868 4-2-5 with 17 points Defiance will play 2 of their next 3 at home. That will start on Sunday, May 26th against Fresno FC. We'll have that match for you at 1:30. But that's going to do it from us here from Cheney Stadium. For all of us here on ESPN Plus, I'm Andrew Harvey saying so long. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship. This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.